Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Happy Sunday evening.
Yes, sir. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday evening. It's a podcast. It's a live watch. Stop. You're both right.
It's a podcast. It's a live cast. We got game 2 of the NBA Finals. Second half just started. We're a shade under 10 minutes to go, and we're going to basically live call the game while we do we're going to kill two birds with one stone. Basically.
Two birds, one stone.
That's how we're doing it.
And it's good. We didn't, you were like, I'm trying to throw a rundown together. There's not a ton of stuff. Meanwhile, threw a couple things on the rundown. All of a sudden, the rundown is thick. And we just can watch this basketball game at the same time. And freed up our Monday.
Yeah. Ah, look at you. Look at you. I see a few things you added to the rundown.
Yeah.
You're all in on the Caitlin Clark, huh?
Well, actually, what's funny about the Caitlin Clark thing is a lot of people are beside themselves about the thing. I'm this Caitlin Clark not on the Olympic team thing isn't like to me. It's not like, oh my God, what is happening? Like I'm not that like broken up about it. I think it's stupid if you're trying to grow the game of basketball.
Yeah, bad marketing for sure.
Women's basketball. Christian Laettner was on the fucking dream team. So what are we talking about here? Caitlin Clark has already accomplished more as a professional basketball player than Christian Laettner has in his entire time in the NBA. So, seems dumb. But at the same time, like the idea that I don't know. I mean, I guess a little bit of the idea that she's not one of the best X amount of players in the world, or she's not the best X amount of guards in the world. I mean, I'm fine with that if the coaching staff believes it. There was a report that came out said part of the decision was not her. She wouldn't get a lot of playing time, and that might cause drama. And it's like, so be a man. I don't know who coaches the fucking women's Olympic team. Be a man or a woman, and just like, if you're a good coach, like you can explain guys or gals.
Lots of things going on. You can't say be a man. You can't say whatever you just said.
Whatever. You my point.
You're mansplaining.
Which is if you're a coach, just play who you want to play. You don't have to explain yourself. People will be upset. Cool. People are upset about shit all the time. Kind of a fucking soft ass move to be like, I didn't really want to deal with the drama.
Again, the women, I guess I don't follow it obviously closely, but I guess the women have pretty much dominated the United States women. So it doesn't really matter if she is or is not on the team as far as them winning. They're the overwhelming favorite. But again, from a marketing perspective,
Andy, when did you find that out that they dominated? Did you know that? Did you know that they won the gold at the last Olympics?
I assume they did.
You assume they did, but you didn't know for sure.
But I just knew that from reading the article about it.
Right. That's the point.
I believe they've won
knows.
I believe they've won the gold every year since '96.
And you read that in an article recently.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
I didn't know that. And nor
in the Caitlin Clark article.
Yeah, exactly. You found that out because Caitlin Clark got left off the team. It just seems like this whole. I like basketball. I'm a fan of basketball. Am I a fan of women's basketball? Not particularly, but it's the sport is a great game. And the idea that somebody came along and is bringing attention to the sport from the women's side, and they're actively campaigning against, do you guys hate success? You hate money?
Do.
You just want to be women's basketball is synonymous with a punchline. It's just like, if you can't think of something, if you can't think of a joke, the punchline of this joke is, I didn't watch it. If you can't think of a better punchline, you just say the WNBA. It's like a placeholder for things no one's going to watch.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden somebody comes along that makes people want to watch it. And you guys are actively campaigning against it happening. It's just like, stop being, pardon my fucking French, but dumb cunts.
Yeah, I'm listening to everything you're saying. I'm also watching the trailer for
What is it?
the Twister movie.
Oh, is this
your boy Glenn Powell, is that the guy?
Yeah, yeah. So this is Twisters. Is it Twister sequel?
I don't know.
I'm assuming. Is it a fire twister?
I'm like low key starting to just hate people behind movies. Is that weird?
You low key hate because everything's just a remake and a second.
It's everyone mocks me like, oh, you watch documentaries. This is why.
Yeah. I'm on board saying this. And you know what's funny is every time this happens, every time they put out a new shitty sequel, the fucking nerd community, I blame the nerd community. You would think the nerd community would be all about original properties and shit like that. The nerd community loves the shit, and they're like, it's different. No. I know. Listen, I know Hollywood's all remakes and whatever, but Furiosa is different. Dune 2's different. Twisters is different. Sharknado 4 is different. It's not different. How about, it'd be fun? Original movies.
Original content, yeah.
Original shit. Our boy, former guest of the show, Tommy Dewey. I don't know if you follow him on social media at all.
Yeah, I do.
But he's in a new movie like Your Monster or Our Monster or whatever, or My Monster. And it won fucking awards at Sundance, and somebody bought it, but there's no sign of it. There's no release date. There's no whatever. You're like, oh, an interesting movie where he's playing the monster in someone's closet. And it used to be something would happen at Sundance and it would be a big deal, and it would immediately get, and they're like, yeah, it'll be shown as an hour trailer before Furiosa 4.
I know. But again,
Twisters.
So it's it's a bunch of people playing the game of Twister at once.
Yeah.
Twisters.
Which, by the way, isn't that if Twister wasn't already a movie, there would be a movie about the board game Twister, because
I know
they're fucking making movies all about these fucking board games. Monopoly. They're making a Monopoly movie. Is there a more boring thing in life than playing Monopoly, just generally? The only exciting part about playing Monopoly in my household was when John would snap and just fucking destroy the whole board. He used to get it would always be to the point where he was frustrated, and then he'd just go natural disaster, and he'd suck up all the houses in his mouth and then spit them across the room.
For real?
Yeah.
He'd suck up the houses in his mouth?
Yeah.
That sounds like something that 2-year-old does.
Yeah. Because he's mentally ill.
I mean, he did masturbate on a turtle.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
Wish. Great throwback.
Furiosa's different. It's an original property by the same director who directed it 30 years ago.
It's like I saw an ad for the whatever new shitty Star Wars series Disney Plus is just pumping out.
Chewbacca, I assume. Are we doing Chewbacca?
No, what is it? Acolyte? I don't even know how it's pronounced.
Sure.
And I'm just like,
that's actually different, because that's a character that has not really been developed, and there a lot of people are fans of it and whatever. So of course it deserves a spinoff.
Yeah, my thing is just no. Like that's just me. It's me. I see the preview. I'm just gonna say no out loud.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I'm good. Like I'd rather put my time and energy into something else. Like this basketball game.
Yeah.
Is this a must win for the Mavs?
I mean, I'm going to say no just because it's still a Celtics home game. But what I will say about this game so far is Jason Tatum not playing that well. Luka playing fucking great. I mean, Jason Tatum, it's flashing on the screen now. He's got 11 points. He's 4 for 12. Kobe, by the way, he loves it. He's going to send to Kobe a text message after this game. He's like, that was for you, bro. I shot 30% and scored 20 points.
No, Kobe would shoot worse.
And he's 4 for 12. But if he's not playing that, you're down. I mean, it's 67-63 over here. You're down. Like, he's not playing well. Luka's playing great.
That's what I'm saying. You got to win that game.
And you're not going to win. I mean, obviously, there's a lot left to go in this game, but
reckless turnover here, by the way.
Do I think it's a must win? No, it's not a must win, but but it's not a must win in that it's game 2. But those are the games you have to win are the ones where they don't play well and their star doesn't play well, your star does. And then it doesn't matter, road, whatever. You gotta get a win there.
I want to go back when you were talking about the Caitlin Clark thing real quick, because something came to me when you brought up Christian Laettner. Is the Christian Laettner? I believe he was drafted by Minnesota, correct?
It sounds right. Yeah.
Right? I think Minnesota drafted him. I'm gonna say there's a Christian Laettner curse nobody's talked about.
Ooh. Well, I mean I mean, was he their like first ever draft pick?
I'm just saying. You went with him. I don't know who else would have been a better option at the time. We have to look into that. What was that, like 92?
Yeah, 92,
probably. I'm guessing it's the 92 draft.
Actually, they were a team in the 80s, right? Like when did the Timberwolves debut?
They're a relatively newer team, I think.
Yeah, they're a late 80s team, I believe.
Okay, yeah. Christian Laettner went third. I'm just saying.
Who went 1, 2, 4?
Now, look, I guess you could counter with Ruther. What the fuck were they going to draft after this?
Right.
So this is how it went. It went Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, Laettner, Jimmy Jackson, LaFonso Ellis, Tom Gugliotta.
Who's the first pick? Me. Word is born in. Not a Christian Laettner. Not Alonzo Mourning. I'm not being braggadocious, supercalifragisticexpialidocious. That's right. I cut you like a Shaq knife.
So I guess it's not
Christian Laettner's like basketball, like the highlight of Christian Laettner's literal NBA career is being mentioned in the Fushnikins Shaq verse.
You know what's crazy when you look at the 1992 draft?
Everybody sucked.
Not just that. Every single draft, I'm just scrolling down. Every single person, how much the NBA has changed. Every single person taken in the first round was either a junior or a senior in college.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like that's crazy to think about. Every single person taken was a junior or senior in college. It just shows how much the game.
It also shows that like the guys just straight up didn't come out, not like whatever. Like imagine Shaq not coming out until he was a junior.
Yeah,
it's like Shaq was NBA ready body wise at 15.
I know. This is a pretty shitty draft, by the way. Damn. Now, I'm going down memory lane. Best name of the draft, Popeye Jones.
Oh, I love Popeye Jones. Popeye Jones, quiet, fun little career highlight reel for Popeye Jones.
Is that his real name?
Clearly not.
How do you know that? How you know it wasn't named Popeye?
Even black people aren't that crazy.
I'm gonna see. Nope, definitely not named Popeye. Ronald Jerome Popeye Jones.
1989, the Timberwolves debuted. I said late 80s. It's about as late as you can get in the 80s. November 1989.
That's what I'm saying. So they were only like 4 years in.
Yeah.
How much money would it take for you to name your kid Popeye? Like legally?
How much money? I don't not that much. Because here's the thing, his name's Ronald, but you call him Popeye. I could name a kid Popeye, call him fucking Ronald if I wanted to.
It's still your legal name though. Like when you got to go through all that stuff. That's
So
all I'm saying.
For when you got to sign your fucking on your license.
I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're just saying though. That's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What is you just saying? I mean, not that much. Like if you were like $50,000, I'm like, yeah. What are we talking about? Of course.
I was gonna say $1 million. You would give
$1 million?
You gave me with 50,000.
I feel like 50,000. I feel like you could get me in for less than that. Like,
oh, I feel like you got this new age setup tonight. This like new age.
Well, I'm turned to face my TV because last time we did it, I had the TV off to the side and I was like turning this way. So now I'm turned to face my TV. So this over here is typically my background.
So here's why I think this is a must-win game. Because the Celtics absolutely destroyed them in game 1.
Yeah.
So I don't think hey, we came close, but we didn't win game 2. I just don't think that holds any weight. I'm gonna say
it's a must win for Ruther, who's afraid he's gonna wear an L chain at the end of the series.
I'll wear the L chain.
No, you don't have to. You're allowed. I don't agree that you have to wear the L chain just because you predict the series wrong. That's actually my whole point.
I wear the L chain every day of my life, Joe. I'm taking L's.
Taking L's left and right.
Oh yeah.
What's going on now?
No, just I take L's.
I take L's.
I mean, I was, you know as you take L's in life, and especially when you have 2 women running you take L's.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes. I really do think this is a must win, and Kyrie, I thought he would play better in game 1, and he obviously shot the bed.
I don't like. I know everybody wants to. I know there's Kyrie stands out there, which is like the weirdest thing to say. But my opinion on Kyrie is now is the Mavs. Jamal Crawford. Like if you have the 135-point game in the series where he gets you a W, great. But like he's not going to put up 31 night in and night out. He's not the second star to Luka. It's like it's Luka and then the Mavs. It's not fucking. It's not Hall and Oates. It's the Luka Matthews band. Like Kyrie's just one of the blowfish, even though he looks like Hootie.
I have to look this up because obviously I know we've been seeing this. I want to know what they're paying, like Emirates is paying to put those photoshopped graphics. I can't find it. I just want to know. I want to know what they're paying.
That it would be impossible to find that. It would be impossible. I mean, I'm sure you could maybe get to the bottom of the average price of an on-floor digital ad, but with that changing and how often do they buy it, you're never going to get the exact number.
Somebody's going to be making $100 million a year really soon in the NBA.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like in the next 10 years. $100 million. That's insane to me. Almost as insane as this Patrick Mahomes commercial with Troy Polamalu, which I don't even know what's happening here, but I'm laughing.
Well, Patrick Mahomes has to do. Patrick Mahomes, one of the highest paid players in the NFL. He's also got to do Head and Shoulders commercials so he can make as much as Tim Hardaway Jr. gets for fucking sitting the bench on the Mavs. Like,
It's insane. It's
but he's playing football because he loves the game. He loves hitting. He loves toughness. He's a tough guy.
Well, I think he's kind of an anomaly. He's probably an exception.
What?
You think Patrick Mahomes would play basketball if he could?
No.
I'm saying he played football because he's that good.
I'm saying he played. Listen, he might have played football because he was that good over playing baseball. But do you think Patrick Mahomes isn't? Patrick Mahomes can't play in the NBA.
No, he can't. I'm saying hypothetically, if he could.
If he could, he'd play in the NBA.
Well, I doubt it because he's trying to go down as the best quarterback of all time.
I don't think he thought he was going to be the best quarterback of all time when he got drafted 10th.
You don't think?
No. My point is, if you can play in the NBA, you do play in the NBA. They're like, Charlie Ward, you're the most outstanding football player ever. He's like, I'm going to go average 3 points in the NBA. Watch out now. I'm rich.
This game's getting away, man.
Yeah.
God, I can't stand Boston.
And I mean, not to toot my own horn, but like, how about the Porzingis game 1? How about what he's doing in limited minutes?
Yeah, he's played pretty well. It's
just another like they were so deep and they playing.
By the way, you're the king of tooting your own horn. You don't have to say that. Not to toot my own horn.
Listen, I said, and I don't know how it works with the L chain and not the L chain, but I said the West like 3 weeks ago. And then when Porzingis came back, after watching what Boston was able to do against Indiana without Porzingis, I was just like, no, like they didn't really even stress themselves. And now they get back a unicorn. So, for him to come up in game 1 and essentially the first quarter of play, like how Porzingis played to open the game, just got them out to that hot start. There's no looking back. And now we're on the verge of being up. They are on the verge of being up 2-0.
Whoa. Hold on. They just showed Rudy Tomjanovich. I thought he died.
No, he just won the Chuck Daly Award for, I don't know, being the best at yelling at guys or something.
I thought he died.
No.
Who died?
What do you mean, who died? Bill Walton died.
No, didn't a former T-Wolves
coach?
T-Wolves coach die in like the last
Did Rudy Tomjanovich coach the Wolves?
No, he didn't. Jeez.
What is going on? Are you okay? You're always like, we can do these night pods. I don't mind. It's like, I don't know. I think you're fresher in the morning, Andy. I think once Isla has
Flip Saunders. That's who died.
Yeah.
Did they look anything alike?
They look anything alike?
Or am I just completely out of my mind? By the way, it was a long day. I was at the pool. At the
pool. What's the weather like there?
We talking about what's the weather like? We don't even have spring anymore, man.
You're just hot. You're in summer. This is early June, dude.
Bro, it's
pool
been
weather.
80s. Yeah, my brother's pool.
Oh, okay. You're at okay. So
but
brother's
yeah,
pool open and active.
All the pools around here open Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
bro.
But typically, like, now obviously this is a personal pool. I'm assuming it's heated.
It is.
Okay, yeah.
But
so growing up, we had a public pool that we would go to. It's like that shit opened Memorial Day, but that shit was cold for a while.
No, for sure.
Same as we didn't have a heated pool until I was like a senior in high school or something like that. Our pool in our backyard was heated by the sun.
Well, the one in our neighborhood's not heated.
Yeah.
And I took Isla up there last week, and
it was cold.
She basically said, "Fuck you, Dad."
Yeah.
When I took her in, yeah. No, I get it. But it was fine. Like once I was in with her, I was like, dude.
And that's why I was saying, is it hot? Because if it's hot, then a cold pool's not that big a deal. But you're not trying to get into like a not heated pool in like the low 80s. And by the way, I don't even give a fuck about cold. Like, that doesn't bother me, but
I
just
mean,
the
Pacific Ocean. Come on.
regular human.
Yeah. Plus, I figure my thing is like Pacific Ocean seasoned me a little. That thing is cold.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, spring is just, it's like not a thing anymore. Just like Rudy Tomjanovich was never a thing coaching Minnesota.
I thought you were going to say Rudy Tomjanovich dying was never a thing.
And that too. It was Flip Saunders again.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I guess they coached in the NBA.
Who's the most famous Flip? Is Flip Saunders more famous than Lil Flip the rapper?
Probably not.
What are the famous flips we got?
That's a great question. Wasn't there like a actor flip? Wasn't there like a old comedian or actor flip something? I had an uncle flip, by the way.
You had an uncle Flip.
Yep.
Flip Wilson?
Flip Wilson. Was it an actor or was that a musician?
That's an actor, black dude.
Yeah.
They don't even have, okay, famousbirthdays.com doesn't even have Little Flip in the top 4.
Oof. Who are the famous flips on famousbirthdays.com?
Flip Wilson, who don't know. He was known to influence Chris Rock, apparently. Who knows if that's true? Flip Saunders is number 2.
Wow.
Flip Phillips, a saxophonist, a white saxophonist, by the way. You don't get that too often. Oh, a white saxophonist.
I mean, actually, I think you do get a white saxophonist that often, but maybe not famous ones.
Bill Clinton, that's it. Who played 2 notes on Arsenio and got him 2 terms.
I think the majority of orchestra saxophonists are probably white guys.
They're not good at it though.
I think you're thinking like jazz saxophonists.
Yeah, I think saxophone. I think a black dude in New Orleans.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I also just had an idea. Speaking of Bill Clinton playing the saxophone, I think that should be the debate. The next presidential debate should be who can play the saxophone better. Joe Biden.
I don't think either of them can play a saxophone.
I know they can't.
I don't think Joe Biden could breathe that long. Like, I don't think he could take a breath deep enough to play it. He'd be like, and they're like, you got to push. He's like, I'm blowing. And then Donald Trump will be like, I don't put my mouth on things. I don't drink alcohol or use drugs. You know that about me. I don't put my mouth on things that look like penises. I make women blow the saxophone for me.
I got to go back to famous flips.
Because they'll do that when you're famous. They'll just do it. They'll blow your sax for you.
The fourth, according to Famous Birthdays, famous flip is Flip Vandermeer, a rugby player. They don't even have his picture. Now, I'm assuming Lil Flip is not listed. Is it because it starts with Lil and that's not his real name? Do you know any of Lil Flip?
I don't think any of these guys' names are really Flip.
Well, you don't know that.
You talk about fucking you're like, we just did this with Ronald Jones, aka Popeye.
What was your uncle's real name?
It wasn't Flip.
If I ever have a boy, I'm naming him Flip legally.
It was I forget what it was now.
Flip Ruther. What about Flipper?
How's that not the most famous Flip?
Because he's not Flip. He's Flipper. Do you know a single Lil Flip song, by the way? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know Lil Flip? Game over?
My uncle was pretty little. He's my Lil Flip.
He's a Houston rapper.
I knew you were going to say some shit like that. I knew it was going to be somewhere between Houston and fucking Atlanta. It was going to be some it was going to be some fucking like Southern fried rapper shit from fucking the early 2000s. Ruther went through his hardcore fucking whatever that is, Bayou rap phase.
Went through, bro. I still rock it. Don't even
Flip.
Lil Flip, especially the remix of that song with Young Buck and UGK. That's a classic on the Ruther workout mix. You don't fuck with the Southern rap. I'm a big fan of the Southern rap.
No, I don't.
You should. See, that's that East Coast bias right there.
I've denied my East Coast bias on a lot of things, but it's not on rap. I barely even fuck with the West Coast back in the day. I was like Tupac, more like too whack.
You want to hear a funny Tupac thing? You know how I have the Tupac Thug Life sweatshirt that my little brother kind of gave me as a joke that I still rock?
Yeah.
I wore that to daycare like in the winter sometime. And one of the women,
Do you have the Tennessee Margarita commercial, by the way?
Yeah, perfect timing. So she
everybody in that fucking commercial knows who Little Flip is.
Yeah, 100%. So I knew one of the workers there would have no clue, and she's like Tupac is I'd argue like if I wore a sweatshirt of Tupac in the world, I think most people would know. Don't you agree?
Agreed. Yeah.
Right. Like he's that famous, and when you can wear somebody's face in the world, they know like you're that big. Anyway, I was like, "Who is this?" And she had no clue. And she goes, "Ludacris."
Doesn't it say Tupac on it?
Nobody says Thug Life, his famous Thug Life. She said Ludacris. I could not stop laughing.
She was like,
I don't listen. I listen to country.
She was like, is that Little Flip?
I was saying, it doesn't matter if what you listen to.
She's like, give me 3 guesses. It's Little Flip. No. It's Flip Wilson? No. It's Popeye Jones. No. All right, fine. It's Flip Saunders. You're like, I made that mistake too. She's like, oh, it's Rudy Tomjanovich.
Oh, speaking of Little Flip, I see you, Roscoe, coming down to join us. He's like, I don't want to miss the pod.
Oh, you want to hear some fucking, I know you do Karens of Anderson. Can we talk about Karens of Wainimi today?
Yeah.
So I go out, I went to Ojai today. Talk about fucking basic bitch Sunday. Little Sunday in Ojai. And on my way out, very classic California. Like there's the street side and then the alley side. Our garage goes out on the alley side. So we go out in the garage and we're going down the alley, and there's a dog catcher. You don't see a lot of dog catchers, right? Like
with a net?
With not the net. I mean, it wasn't a cartoon dog catcher. It wasn't out there trying to get Heathcliff the cat.
I don't know why I thought I had the net.
Just scooping up 101 Dalmatians like as a fish.
It was funny, Brandon. I've never seen a dog catcher, so I just associate them with cartoons from the 30s.
It had the like pole with the thing on
Harness.
it that like you get it around the head, then you can trap. But we're watching. This thing's coming out the side window of a car, of like a animal services van, an animal services like pickup, and fucking there's a dog, and the thing's coming out, and every time they go to get this dog with the fucking thing, the dog like pulls away, and I'm like, the move here.
Wait a second, hold on. Let me see. So he's not getting
out the window.
And the dog's in the street?
Dog's in the alley, yeah. Dog's in the alley. I just see this truck like kind of cornered the dog, and then the thing's coming out into like somebody's like little driveway area, and the thing's coming out, but the dog keeps pulling away. Now, if you were out on your feet, you could fucking, when the dog moves back, you move back. But the fucking, I guess lady, because I pull up and I see it, but this lady fucking, and I drive by, I'm like, yo, Karen, get the fuck out of the car. What are we doing here? It's like, are you even, it just looked at me like, what the fuck? I was like, get out of the car.
Wait, the dog catcher was a woman?
The dog catcher, most Karen looking fucking blonde chick I've ever seen in my life.
So what type of dog is this? Why are they trying to catch the dog?
I don't know, but it's loose. Whatever kind of dog it is, it's loose. Like no collar, roam in the alley, wild ass dog. Like, I mean, probably
let it live, man. Let that dog live.
Yeah, I mean, but not a small dog, like biggish dog. Dog can, This isn't Mexico, Andy. So you can't just like they'll let that dog fucking go forage for food. I mean, whatever. Obviously, animal services got a call about this dog, and the dog didn't look like it was super fucking aggressive, but it also didn't look like every time Karen, the dog catcher, would go over the thing, I'd be like, what are you doing? But I'm just like, imagine living in the world today and your job is animal control. And you're like, I'm going to do it without getting out of the car. Like, get out of the fucking car. My girlfriend's like, well, maybe the dog's aggressive. I go, isn't that the name of the game? Like,
yeah.
If your animal services isn't your job getting fucking out of control dogs?
Or she should wear one of those. You see what they got those giant suits when dogs attack. Do you ever see like that jackass? He puts in that giant suit where like the German Shepherd just fucks you up.
I was just like, yo, Karen, what are we doing here? Give fucking half an effort. It was like, oh, if I can't get it without getting out of the car, I guess it's fucking, the dog's like, oh, I'm just going to go down this fucking walkway where you can't drive. Well, I guess that dog's free now.
Did she catch the dog?
Dude, we left. We were like, we don't have, my girlfriend was like, should we stay? And I was like, what are we going to do? She's either going to catch the dog or she's not going to catch the dog. Either way, it's not going to be here in 5 hours when we get back.
That's going to be on the next door app in Port Hueneme.
Yeah. Although this, I'll say one thing. Port Hueneme, this side of like Port Hueneme essentially is the bridge between the white part of Oxnard and the Mexican part of Oxnard. There's two distinct parts of Oxnard. There's Mexican Oxnard and there's white ass beachside Oxnard. And Port Hueneme is literally in the middle. It's like, it's inside. It's surrounded by Oxnard on all sides. Port Hueneme is the dividing line between, like, at least on this side, because if you keep going north, Port Hueneme ends, and then the two sides of Oxnard run into each other. But down here, and I gotta say, it's like just a couple blocks from here is like the Mexican side of Oxnard, and Mexicans treat dogs like they treat dogs in Mexico. Like, there's a fucking lot of wild ass dogs running around here. No, like, I'm like, how many of these dogs just like, we'll go walk the dogs all the time, and this dog walks by. I'm like, Mexicans just let their dogs go. They just go, okay, you'll come home. They treat their dogs like they're outdoor cats. Meanwhile, white ass Karen is like, yeah, well,
you know what though? I think there's something to that. Yeah, I'm being for real.
Yeah, but you know what? This isn't Mexico. The like cars drive by, like, because these dogs can get hit by cars.
Yeah, well, that's like some Darwin shit right there. The smart ones don't. I'm saying.
There's this one little ass white dog that, like, if you go on Neighborhood, they're like, fucking Panchito's out again. Panchito just gets out every day. Just out, roaming the streets.
And is that dog like, really, is it really named Panchito?
Some shit like that. Yeah.
Maybe it's a drug mule.
It's like a little white fucking Maltese or something. I don't even know how many drugs it could carry.
Panchito the drug mule, there's a bunch of like fentanyl and cocaine in his asshole or something.
There's fentanyl in my asshole.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yo quiero this fentanyl out of my asshole, bro. Help a Panchito out, you know what I mean?
So what else did you add to this rundown? Let me see.
Well, after our conversation the other day, it's official. Darren Waller is I don't know if he's retired or if he's just focusing on music.
By the way, most people agree with me according to the Substack poll.
What was that?
His song is more cringeworthy.
Wow.
Let's pull it up. Let's see what we got here. Let's see the final tally here. Let's see what the dirtballs had to say. Come on, dude. No, I don't want this. Hold up. Hold up. All right. Final tally. No, it wasn't this one. It was, 63 to 8.
Hey, everybody. It's
Joe. Oh, shit. That's you.
60. Can I add one thing? I mean, the people have spoken, but I'd like to add a final argument to this. Okay. Athletes athletes put out music all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's like a thing. Is this the top 5 cringiest athlete that, like, if we pull up like Lonzo Ball's like rap, like you pull up Kobe's fucking thing. I mean, we've done this a lot. Like how many athletes music have we pulled up? And then the fact that Shaq's verse, not a Christian Laettner, not a Lonzo, is the greatest rap song in the history of the NBA is saying something.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of cringy athlete music. My counter is she the cringiest person to ever eat popcorn? That's a lot of fucking people. In the history of the earth, a lot of people have eaten popcorn. That might be the cringiest.
Well, normally people eating popcorn is not cringy.
I know. But athlete music, almost always cringy. So it's like, it's not hard not to be cringy eating popcorn. It's kind of hard to be an athlete and put out music and not be cringy. If you voted for him, let me know if this argument has swayed your opinion whatsoever.
Again, my argument is that was produced, that was premeditated. She was on the spot and then just kept getting more cringe. That's the argument. Like he was in an editing room and somebody was watching this with him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's."
But he also probably paid a guy a bunch of money, and then a director, like fucking the editor didn't help it be less cringy. Director, whoever fucking did the art direction.
I think if you look closely, because they're near Port Hueneme in that video, there's a dog catcher in the background trying to catch Panchito. You look extra.
Panchito. No one is even trying to catch Panchito. Everybody has accepted that Panchito just roams the streets. Every once in a while, the fucking neighborhood will be like, "That dog's out," and then 40 people underneath will be like, "That's Panchito. He's out every single day. Don't worry. Eventually, that dog's getting hit by a car."
Okay, so after the Mavs lose this game, because they're going to lose, I'm calling it.
Are you now? Where do you stand? You called Mavs in 7.
Mavs have to win the next 2 games.
No, I know, but I mean, how do you feel about Mavs in 7 now?
Oh, terrible.
Terrible. Okay.
That was a total L. I mean, it's looking that way at this point.
I mean, it's only a 12-point game right now.
No way. Not especially with this one-on-one 0 ball.
Seems like we're lined up. That never happens. Seems like we're lined up for once. I'm assuming your one-on-one thing was all about Kyrie fucking.
Yeah. What are we doing here? What kind of offense is that? Tatum looks bad there too.
Jason Tatum he's 6 for 19, I believe now. I mean, this is the most Kobe shit that's ever had. Like, send Kobe that text, dog. That's for you.
They got to make a run now. I mean, they got to just.
What? They're down 10 with 6 minutes left. When else would they make a run, Andy?
I'm saying it's got to start right now.
I mean, they're not making it in quarter 5.
What do you think of this trio? Obviously, we're not watching the announcers, but I'm going to say it right now. I know it's year 1 and it's tough to gel right away. But Doris Burke, JJ Redick, Mike Breen.
It's too much.
Dude, the old trio was way better. Sorry. Mark Jackson. I know everybody likes to dunk on him, and I probably did too. The Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Breen, dude, they had a rapport. They had a chemistry.
This was recently talked about. I think I was listening to
Bill Simmons. They talked about it.
The 3-man booth.
Yeah, they talked about it on Bill Simmons.
Why the 3-man booth just in general?
And that was their point, and I agree.
Yeah, because the Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy served as one person.
For sure.
Mike Breen, Doris Burke, also not a basketball player, just a broadcaster.
But she provides color commentary.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's her role.
I know. But I like broadcaster, play-by-play, athlete, color combos.
I agree.
Now, there's been some 3-man booths in certain sports that are like, worthwhile. But again, I mean, even Gary, Keith, and Ron for my Mets, they're not all there every day. A lot of times it's Gary and Ron. A lot of times it's Gary and Keith. It's never Ron and Keith. And it's never Gary, Dale, the other broadcast guy, and Keith. Mike Breen is the only guy that should call play-by-play for the NBA Finals or any major NBA game that he's available for until he retires from the game. And now just pick an athlete and put it with him. Obviously a basketball player, but I'm not like a Doris Burke hater, but Doris Burke should be on some second team with fucking whoever.
Yeah, the 3-man, I don't know why these networks do this crap. I think it's like more is not better.
You know what's amazing? I bet you if you said your greatest, if you took a poll of the American people and said of like, let's call it age 25 to 75.
And you said, in your name Flip, how many would say yeah?
Yeah. And you said, who's your favorite sports broadcaster? I think there'd be a lot of answers. So the winner might have, only like 20% or whatever. But I think it would be Vin Scully. And that motherfucker did it alone.
Well, people traditionally hate a lot of guys that I just don't understand why they hate them. Like, people hate Buck, they hate Collinsworth, they hate
People hate Bill Walton.
Hated Bill Walton. It's like, well, who do you like, man? Who do you like? I do think NBA is lacking that voice. I think a lot of people I think a lot of NFL guys are pretty good. A fair amount. And that's a different sport. And obviously it's called differently. But just let Breen do his thing and just have him with somebody.
Yeah.
Now you got me thinking, like, who have been the best basketball announcers of all time? Who did
Marv?
Yeah, no, I'm saying who was he paired with? Like those Jordan Bulls titles, who was Marv paired with?
Hubie Brown? I don't know.
On those 90s Bulls teams?
Doug Collins?
Well, I was going to say, was it Doug Collins?
I mean, they went through a couple, Isaiah, Magic Johnson in the later years. Walton was there for a minute.
There's Shaq and Paul Pierce.
Yeah. We are synced up, bro.
Bill Belichick. Oh, he's next to some of those. Looked like those were some Trader Joe's pretzels.
Dark chocolate covered mini pretzels.
Were those from Trader Joe's?
I don't know.
I'm going to rewind that, see if I was right. Well, I want to see if it's some of the pretzels that I eat. I'm just curious. If I eat those, maybe I'll become a head coach in the NFL.
I think that's how it works.
Let me see. Right after the Dr. Odyssey ad, which I don't know what that's about. I mean, why is Paul Pierce wearing... Dude, you're wearing a chain that like a 5-year-old made. What are you doing? Yep, those are Trader Joe's. Knew it. I knew it. I knew he was rocking Bill rocking the TJ's pretzels.
I mean, they were behind him, and I'm sure in some sort of booth. I don't know if he brought them in his fucking lunch sack.
Well, you know the move. The move is the milk chocolate, not the dark chocolate, personally. And then the other move is the that would have been a huge 3. The move is
you're not caught up now. You got to get live, bro.
Oh yeah, the move is the
because I was like, that was a huge 3.
The yogurt pretzels. Where are you at?
I'm at 345.
Oh, I'm ahead of you. Well, this was an 8-point game. Yeah, this is an 8-point game. Now it's a 15-point game. What the fuck?
How are we lined up? And now all of a sudden you jumped ahead of me.
I jumped ahead of you.
See, shouldn't have you all this. We were all synced up, and then you had to go fucking look at pretzels.
Well, I wanted to know what kind of pretzels he's eating.
Flip ass Wilson over here.
Do you think pretzels are an underrated or overrated snack?
Ooh, that's interesting.
It is an interesting one.
Underrated. I don't think they can be overrated.
Well, here's my thing with pretzels: versatility, right?
Versatility.
We're talking about different flavors of chocolate you could put on them. We're talking you could put peanut butter in them. You could dip, the dips you have.
What about just soft ass pretzels?
Oh yeah, you got to go with the cheese on that, right?
Or just like some grainy mustard.
I mean, I'll do mustard, but you got to go with cheese.
Beer cheese, a pub cheese.
Yeah.
Underrated. Then you got pretzel bites. Yeah, mini pretzels.
If you had to choose
what about the old sourdough? Remember the boxes of sourdough hard pretzels? Like just a hard, remember like a pretzel like this?
Oh yeah. They tasted great and you would lose teeth. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like a dentist's worst nightmare.
Your brother's like, you've been eating those hard pretzels?
Yeah.
Yeah, underrated.
Okay, so if you had to choose,
I'm going to say underrated because they can't. They're certainly not overrated. They might be properly rated though, because I think everybody agrees pretzels are the bomb. Are there anybody there who are like, nah, pretzels, fuck pretzels?
What about this one?
But I don't think people talk enough about their versatility, and
that's what I'm saying.
So I'm going to say underrated.
And then here's a follow-up: if you had to choose the rest of your life, you could either only have chips, and we'll
pretzels.
throw pretzels. Hold on. But I'm gonna throw tortilla chips as part of the potato chips.
Doesn't actually hurts your cause.
What?
I'm not even a fucking tortilla chip guy.
No more chips and queso. No more chips and salsa.
Bro, honestly, first of all, chips and salsa, I don't need it. I could lose it tomorrow. Not a big deal. Chips and queso, let me dip that pretzel in queso. I'd rather have a pretzel in queso.
Yeah, but you're in fact,
I'll
chips
argue
and queso, man.
Yeah,
chips and guac.
In fact, I'll argue with this. You take me to a house party where they put out the chips and queso, and they also have pretzels out. I'm taking those pretzels. I'm dipping them in that queso. It's not even a question for me.
Well, it's Mexican pretzels. Food with some chips and queso, chips and.
I'm not saying I don't like chips. I'm just saying it's not even a question if I had to lose one forever. I would lose one forever. I mean, soft pretzels, hard pretzels, mini pretzels, honey mustard pretzels, pretzel bites, those buffalo pretzels, buffalo fucking flavored pretzels that they got these days. A little bit of blue cheese on them. Big German pretzel. Talking about fucking chips and guac.
Okay. I'm just throwing it out there.
All right. And I said, no doubt about it. Pretzels in a landslide. Didn't even have to think. I didn't even know what you were going to say. You're like pretzels, or I'm like, blowjobs? What are you asking me here?
Bro, that's an easy, that's kind of an easy shot that Tatum just missed there.
Yeah.
Like he's not playing well.
Tatum is Kobe, dude. I've never seen him more. He loves Kobe. He texts dead Kobe. He is Kobe.
I'm trying to think though. Like, is he really Kobe?
Pass a little bit.
I don't know. What's interesting is how this is shaping up.
I don't think his teammates hate his guts, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. For the MVP.
Well, he's not going to win the MVP right now.
No, that's what I'm saying. Drew Holiday is an underrated piece on this team. Speaking of overrated, underrated.
Agreed.
Okay, they hit a 3 here. We got ourselves a mong. You know what I'm saying? Actually, they only need a 3.
Now you're ahead. See, well, I don't.
Okay, and 1.
Can you pause?
No, I'm not. I just won't say it. I don't feel like
I mean,
pausing.
yeah,
Unless they show some more pretzels on the screen for me to dissect.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to catch up with you. I'm gonna go back out to my home screen and come back in.
By the way, you're mad at me for pausing. Look at that wonderful conversation we just had about pretzels because I was so enamored by what Belichick type of pretzels he had.
I left my DirecTV app, and all I did was reopen my DirecTV app, and somehow I'm on fucking PBS now watching Les Mis. Like, how do you even? How does that even happen? And now literally no sign of the game.
Oh, it's a 5-point game. Minute left. I'll tell you that much.
Well, now I got it coming back on.
Sadam just got stuffed. And they just stuffed back. Wow. Back-to-back stuffs.
Dude, Derek White, I mean, that guy blocked some fucking shots for a guard, huh?
That was impressive, man.
Huge. That's a huge defensive play.
That's the game, man. Game's over. That blocked the game. It ended the game.
Well, I didn't see if they got a bucket.
It ends the fucking game, dude.
Huge. Can we talk about Luka's hair? Like if you're an NBA player, okay? I'm not saying I'm sure he looks fine, like when he's locking a thing, but you have to tell your barber, hey man, my hair has to look good on the way into the stadium, but it has to look good in the fourth quarter after I've been sweating for a whole thing. It can't have some weird fucking guy who just woke up from a hangover look. Luka looks like when I get up in the morning after 40 beers. It's like, oh, what happened?
But that's also that's an Eastern European look, man. I'm just saying, that's how those dudes look. Right?
Sure.
You don't think?
Well, I'm just saying, he's in the NBA now. It's like, talk to your barber. You're not in Eastern Europe anymore.
I wonder how
Levi's jeans, bad haircut. Give it to me. Hey, it's like, fucking, you're a multimillionaire.
I wonder how often these guys get their haircuts.
Regularly, they have a barber. There's a team barber.
Like once a week?
Probably.
Damn, that'd be nice. Now you're gonna have me looking at his hair. What the fuck was that, Luka? That shot was almost as bad as your hairstyle. They just
come in. That's a horrible. Good job on the ABC broadcast. It's coming back from the Four Hymns commercial immediately into the running fucking one-hander. Who's in charge of directing this game?
Well, it's over, man.
2-0.
Look at all these guys wearing jerseys. Look at those guys. Look at all these guys. You see those 3 guys wearing Jaylen Brown?
Now I see it.
The 3 guys wearing Jaylen Brown jerseys.
The one bald old dude.
What are you doing, you grown-ass men? How drunk is Paul Pierce?
He actually got blocked by the rim first.
Let me ask you this about former players. Do you think it's odd to be like fanboying out that much when these guys do it?
No. Not if you're Paul Pierce and it's the Celtics.
Because it's more of a basketball thing, don't you think?
But you don't, even if it wasn't, you don't see those dudes otherwise. Like,
I just can't see Peyton Manning fanboying out. I'm just using him.
They're always in the box, and then it's,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. All right, Celtics up 2-0. So if my prediction is going to happen, the Mavs have to take 4 of the next 5.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. It's my baby hands L.
It's baby hands L.
It's a mini L for a big prediction. I might actually retire. I should start putting the L chain on Isla every time she does something wrong. Although she doesn't make predictions.
Everybody blocked that shot. The rim.
I was going to say.
He got sprited and then he got blocked.
All right, there's the dorks in the background wearing the Jaylen Brown jersey during the Drew Holiday interview. Like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing?
At least they have shirts on underneath.
Well, you got a team effort here.
Are they like his agent and his agent's son or whatever? Like, why are they all in Jaylen Brown jerseys? Holiday, Brown, Tatum, White, Porzingis.
5 players with 12 or more points. This has not been an exciting NBA Finals so far.
No. But 2 games at home. This is the way it's supposed to. I mean, this is how they set it up. Let me ask you, and don't worry, because you won't take an L. There's no L chain involved in this. So feel comfortable making a prediction. And because this is between me and you, forget the lunacy that is the Dirtball fam. Do the Mavs win game 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a 75% confidence on that.
Do the Mavs win game 4?
Yeah.
Ooh. So you're thinking it's 2-2.
Oh, sorry. No, my confidence level drops 50-50 there.
Okay. I'm with you. So yes, we take these L's. We take them together.
Yeah. And it's a move, right? I don't know. Are you really watching these baseball games in London?
I mean, yeah, there were Mets Phillies games.
Real quick though, before we jump to that. Malika Andrews, why is she dressed like it's 1988?
I didn't even know Josh Hart. Was Josh Hart on the pregame? Did you watch the pregame?
Yeah, he's been on both games.
Jesus. No one told me.
This crew is awful. I'm sorry, it's awful. Like I'm taking Josh Hart out of it because I'm not including him. I just don't get it. I just don't. This is a problem for them.
The Bob Myers thing was a nightmare. I don't know who decided
the Bob Myers thing. Dear God, what are we doing?
No,
he's the nice neighbor who's like, oh, he knew my taxes.
They were like, we're thinking about adding Bob Myers, and then somebody who was like, one of the guys who's like in the production, like he's not an executive, he's just like he's the guy who's going to direct the NBA Finals. He's like, Bob Myers. Does Bob Myers have a personality? And they're like, no, absolutely not. He's like, what? Why are we doing that then?
But I'm saying, look at this crew right now. You have Malika Andrews, who like whatever. I have no strong opinions on her. Michael Wilbon, I'm just like, dude, stick to pardon.
In fact, honestly, don't even stick to that. I've never liked Mike Wilbon.
And Bob Myers, and then you got a guy who is in the league whose season just ended.
Many people race bait now that it's going unheard of that Michael Wilbon has been quietly race baiting for 25 years. No one's given Donovan McNabb credit as the best quarterback in the NFL. Go to your room, old man.
You think he's a race baiter?
I don't think he's a race baiter. I think he's just like actually racist. Like in the sense that he always wants to like hoist up some mediocre black dude.
I don't know if I've noticed that.
Historically.
Oh wait, I remember now. He did say Popeye Jones was a top 10 NBA player. It's all making sense. Yeah, he had him in his list. You notice I am just fucking around. Dirtballs are like, what's Ruther doing this episode? This is just a fuck around episode.
everybody's always like, I mean, in tennis, the big three. I mean, you know, it's like it's going back and forth between like Djokovic and Federer and whatever. He's like, Arthur Ashe, no questions asked. You're like, dude, what are you talking about?
Arthur Ashe.
It's it. He's a GOAT.
Yeah, it's not a good crew though, man.
No.
It's,
I didn't even know Josh Hart was a part of it. I would have tuned in.
Yeah, he's been doing the finals.
That's amazing too. Josh Hart is, I mean, I love Josh Hart. On his podcast, he's like barely coherent. Like he does all the intros and shit. He fucks him up half the time. I don't know how his agent is crushing it right now.
Oh yeah, this is
a fucking huge call.
Well, I think he's like a charming, good-looking guy. I think obviously he plays well on camera. I mean, Bob Meyer, just look at him. He just looks lost. Bob Myers looks like the type of guy where he'd be mad at you if your dog shit on his lawn, even though you picked it up.
He'd be furious.
You're like, even if you picked it up with the bag, he'd be mad at you. You're like, dude, I picked it up.
And he's like, oh, you think you just got all of it? He's like, you think you got every little. so you think if I come over there, and I put my hand in the grass where you picked up the dog shit, you don't think I'm getting any shit on my hands? And you're like, I mean, yeah, but you're like, I mean, there's probably like a little bit of shit everywhere. He's like, yeah, not on my lawn though. Maybe on your lawn, there's shit everywhere.
He pulls a magnifying glass out of his khaki shorts.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna inspect this.
He's like, the HOA will be hearing about this. And then he goes home to his wife, who's the bitch president of the HOA.
100%.
Babe, we got to do something about the Ruthers. Roscoe shit. I mean, technically on the lawn between the sidewalk and the street, but that's our lawn. Is it, Bob? Just fucking file the complaint, Susan.
Susan. Dude, you know my new thing when I drive now? Especially to women, older women.
You Susan them?
Oh, I guess their name. And I say it out loud. I'll be like, come on, move faster. Charlene. You know,
Charlene.
I just like toss. Like, come on, Bethany. What are you doing?
Melissa, what the fuck? It's green.
God. Linda, come on. You're holding up the line. Yeah, I love to just guess their name. My dad used to always he would have been canceled for this. He
oh boy, here we go.
Used to just always be like, I bet she's fat. Like it was a terrible time. Like, I bet she's fat. And we'd pull up. And he's like, I told you she's fat. I'm like, dude, Walt, you're
rocking phobic.
And you're rocking a big old beer belly. So I don't know why you think you can talk about, fat Cheryl over here. Like, what do you? I bet she's fat. Fat. I think she's got to be fat. So you're watching these games. Back to these London games.
Well, I was casually watching. It was Mets. It was really more. My question was more. Did you watch a second?
Oh, not a second.
No, I didn't think you did. It was pretty exciting. I mean, I like the London experience. Shout out to Dirtball Jim Reihard, who's Reihard, who was there. He tweeted at us.
Like he went for the London games?
Fucking yeah. And you know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, Jim.
So he went to London from the States.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball should give him like a statue.
I'm pretty sure he went from, I think he lives in LA or he lives in California.
Okay.
And I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's a Mets fan via his wife. Like his wife is a diehard Mets fan.
Okay.
So not only did he go from California to London, but he went like via a spousal fanatic fan. I mean, he's become, I think, he always will hit me up. He went to Mets Dodgers this year. I think he goes to the occasional LA Mets meetup. Like there's a meetup group that used to always go to West 4th and Jane, which was like my favorite which is now closed. I don't know if you knew that. I think we talked
I
about
didn't. West 4th and Jane.
that. Yeah.
That's tough for me right now.
Yeah. It was a good spot.
Well, that was
as a post hostel spot.
It was a post hostel spot where I'd play Connect 4 with girls and hope that they would then want to engage in sexual relations with me. And it worked a lot. So that's tough. It's a tough one to hear.
Now that I've connected 4, how about you let me connect this 4 in your vagina?
That's usually what I said to him too.
Yeah.
And also good tater tots.
It's more of a 4 1/4, but I'll still connect that shit.
Good tater tots there. Good burgers.
Good wings.
Underrated food right there, tater tots, by the way.
I fucking hate tater tots.
Why? They're hash browns.
5.
Yeah,
I hate hash browns. Home fries all day.
You hate hash browns?
Yeah. I'm not really all that big of a fried potato guy generally. Your French fries got to be bomb as fuck for me to really like your French fries generally. I'm not like I'd rather just have like mashed potatoes or baked potato or whatever, or even just like what are they called when you get like country, you know what I mean? Like roasted potatoes.
I think this is kind of a sus move by you. I'm not gonna lie.
Tater tot. I mean, this is like. But by the way,
your stance on potatoes in general and tater tots.
Hold on,
tater tots are delicious.
The early 2000s move to like, hey, our place is gonna be hip, and they're like, okay, so what are you saying? It's like no French fries. Like, what do you mean no French fries? We serve burgers and shit. Tots, dude, because we're cool. We're different. We do tots. And what's amazing is every tot is exactly the same. Like they're all Ore-Ida tots out of the bag. Like what do we like? What the seasoning is different. The fucking like every tater tot looks precisely the same. We're just talking about 40 different kinds of chips, fries, whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Every tot is the same exact tot. Every tot is an Ore-Ida tot.
Well, look, here's the thing. Since I have a early toddler.
Yeah, I understand your 2-year-old likes tots. That's literally the target demographic.
And it's brought it back to me. I'm like, dude, these are low key. Like I made a burger at home. I put too many. Let me put it this way. I put too many tots out there that she couldn't eat. I was like, what do I do with some of these tots? I put them on a burger. I made a homemade double cheeseburger with tots and like a kind of like, 1,000, the classic sauce you would, the Trader Joe's, they got the, what's it called? What do they call it? Basically, it's like the Big Mac / you get it. It's 1,000 odd. You get it in and out, whatever the fuck they call it. I forget the name of the sauce. Oh, magnificent sauce is what they call it. That tasted great though, man.
When I go to a restaurant and they're like, I'll be like, I'll get a burger. And they're like, you want fries or tots? I'm like, oh, now they mention it, I'm going to do tots. Also, let's swap out that burger for a grilled cheese cut into quarters. I'm going to have a side of pasta with just butter on it. And I'm going to wash that down with a nice cold Go-Gurt. Let's go. Let's ride.
Okay.
Also, you know what? While you're here, some Dino Nugs for the table.
Get me hungry over here, fam. I'll have to get a late night snack.
Fucking tots. I'll tell you who's definitely a tot guy is that Tug Coker. Every time I go play golf with Tug Coker, he's got some leftover children's food with him. It's like, yeah, I got a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the crust cut off and a bag of cheese balls. Like, are you just eating like a Ziploc bag full of fucking Cheerios? What is this? It's like, yeah. I'll be like, I go, you want a beer and a hot dog at the turn? He's like, I'm good with my bag of dry Cheerios and my Capri Sun. Oh, you sure you don't want a beer? No, I got this Ecto cooler. Who are you?
Ecto cooler. That was a popular one at the Ruther household growing up. The High C Ecto cooler. That was a popular one taken to school. And it went on for
you guys have soda in your house? Are you a soda household?
We really weren't. It was mostly like High C, that type of stuff.
Yeah. We weren't really. So my mom my mom would rock. This is the most reckless shit ever. My mom would rock the caffeine-free Coke in like a 3-liter.
Wow.
And I was like, caffeine-free. I was
Yeah.
way more of a juice guy and iced tea. I'm an iced tea guy.
Yeah, we were like, I see, squeeze it.
Squeeze it.
Squeeze it.
Squeeze it. You can make if you were out of squeezes, you could just make your own by pouring 250 grams of sugar into a cup and then just putting red food coloring in it. What about now? Are you a soda household now?
No.
Girl, your wife's not a soda lady?
No.
What'd she drink? She's a water. She got that Stanley cup.
Water. We're water people, and the truth is, so is she. A little girl is, and she doesn't.
She likes water.
She drinks it all the time.
It's good. My girlfriend's a fucking 4 Diet Coke a day girl.
Yeah, no, we don't mess with that. Although you want to hear something crazy? Like, maybe it's not crazy. Dr. Pepper is now tied.
Oh, I did hear this.
It's now the number 2
soda brand in America,
tied with Pepsi, which is like actually.
I thought I saw the story was it overtook Pepsi.
Yeah, you're right. It overtook Pepsi.
I don't think they go for ties. I didn't even calculate that.
Yeah, sorry.
They sold the exact same amount of cans last year.
But do you know why?
Why?
And I'm not
Diet
surprised.
Dr. Pepper?
I knew this. No, because Dr. Pepper's its own thing. So if you're a restaurant, you either have to carry all Coke products or all Pepsi products.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper can be at either Pepsi and
really
Coke. Yeah.
Isn't it one of them?
No, it's independent. That's the thing.
Wow.
So
actually, here's fun fact. I'll be appearing on tomorrow's Adam Carolla podcast. We recorded it on Thursday. It comes out tomorrow. And they brought up this story in the news section. And then the conversation was, do you know that Dr. Pepper's ingredients are a mystery and that it's on 2 different things and they keep them in separate safes?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, yeah, the only person who's ever seen it, of course, is Mr. Pibb, who fucking, he had a photographic memory. He committed that shit to memory and he just recreated that shit in his lab like he was Walter White.
That's hilarious. Well,
the only guy who ever saw both has been in both safe deposit boxes. Old Mr. Ronald Pibb.
Well, it's a shame I didn't have some of these rug nugs of information for you, because I actually listened to these dorky mini podcasts on Dr. Pepper. So I knew it was independent just from my work with Gold Star, and I was like, oh, this is fascinating. That can be on any Legal Smart. But what I learned was it was because of a lawsuit in the 60s. They're technically not a cola. I think Coke sued them because it's Coca-Cola. And since they're not a cola, it's not a
competitor of any of those. Yeah.
Basically, it's not a competitor. So they can be on, and they can be on any restaurant or any distribution. So, but it got me thinking. The truth is, I'd much rather have a Dr. Pepper than a Pepsi.
No doubt about it. I'd honestly
Coke.
Most of the time a Coke, yeah. So here's, I just told you my girlfriend, big diet soda guy. And I hate diet soda. I barely drink any soda, but diet soda with that fake shit, it gives me it grosses me out. I can't drink a diet soda. She's a Diet Coke. One day she had Diet Dr. Pepper. Actually, I think a friend brought over like the Diet Dr. Pepper cream soda. It's like half Dr. Pepper, half cream diet. I tried it. I was like, it's still pretty fucking bad. But I was like, listen, if you got to get anything, get the Diet Dr. Pepper or the Diet Dr. Pepper cream she's like, now she just gets both because that's how much diet soda she drinks. But this is my go-to move now. So every day when we make coffee, I always I'd rather have more coffee than less, because if I run out of coffee, then now I'm mad. I got to make an extra pot or whatever. So I make extra coffee. And then without fail, I'd say about 2 out of every 3 days, I've got like 10 ounces of coffee left. And now midday, it's not hot, it's whatever. So what I do is I take a Diet Dr. Pepper or a Diet Dr. Pepper cream. I get a giant mug and I mix it with coffee. Put it on ice.
So you're helping this Dr.
I
Pepper
am.
game.
I feel like I might be solely responsible because I'm making so many Diet Dr. Pranos.
I thought it was 23 ingredients, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't I?
I said 13.
No.
It's a pharmacist who made it because he wanted it to smell like the pharmacy. Imagine if that's what the pharmacy smelled like. Like, that'd be a good smell. Like if you walked into Walgreens.
Are pharmacists doctors? Is your girl a doctor?
She has her doctorate, yes. This is where it gets. I busted her balls on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do we want to be technical?
Yeah.
Are you a doctor if you have your doctorate?
I mean, I don't know. Are you? I know if you have your PhD, you're a doctor.
She's not referred to as a doctor, but she has a doctorate.
Yeah, but I don't know. Is that
it's 8 years of school? I mean, it's 4 more years.
Right, but I'm saying, are they actually doctors?
Her
I know she's not a medical doctor, but I'm saying, is she like?
Yes, it says doctor of pharmacy.
Yeah, but does she get shit addressed to Dr. whatever at her hat? Like, this thing come in the mail to Dr. so-and-so?
No.
Okay. Was Dr. Pepper a doctor or is he just a was he also a doctor?
He's a pharmacist. I don't know.
Okay. This is some mini pod. I didn't even cover this. Is he actually a fucking doctor?
I'm not finished.
I don't know. Is the colonel a colonel?
It's 19 minutes, by the way, so it's not that long.
I love you. I didn't finish it. There's less minutes in that pod than there are ingredients in Dr. Pepper, and you fucking still didn't finish it.
Maybe I did. I don't remember.
All I'm saying is you don't need to be a doctor because Mr. Pibb, definitely not a doctor. He figured that shit out. He's just a guy with a fucking...
Now, does Mr. Pibb taste like Dr. Pepper? I forget.
Yeah, basically the exact same. It tastes. It's like, I'd argue it's better.
Better,
dude. I love me some Mr. Pibb, and but you know what? That's my thing. Like, I'm not a soda guy, but Mr. Pibb, Dr. Pepper, like those like over Coke, Pepsi, over cola is like, because there is a little cola flavor in it. Let's be honest. Like, cola is definitely one of the flavors, right? Or is Dr. Pepper saying no? There is no cola.
They're saying there's no cola. They're saying when the guy who made it, who is also not named Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I don't know why he chose Pepper as a name. But when he made it, apparently there's no cola. I just like that this was the dude who was giving you drugs and also was like, yeah, try this concoction, see? I've been working on it for months, see? And he probably talked like that. And
yeah. Like, are you even a doctor? He's like, yeah, I'm Dr. Pepper, see? That's not a real name. What are you a doctor in? Pepper. I have my PhD in pepper. I'm Dr. Pepper.
If you tell pharmacists they're not a doctor, they don't like that.
Is that true?
I mean, she gets annoyed. I'm like, you're not. It's like, I'm getting my diploma. It's a doctor.
Oh, so she is saying she's a doctor. She says she's a doctor.
I don't know, but she's not called a doctor. But can we Google this? Are pharmacists doctors? Literally, I put "are pharmacist" and it already filled it in for me.
They wear the lab coat like they're doctors. Also, why do you even need the lab coat? What does that signify? What you know?
The lab coat is funny to me.
Yeah. Did she wear the lab coat? She leave every day with the lab coat? Or is that shit hanging in a locker?
Oh, no, for Walgreens, she had to wear one.
Yeah.
I don't think she does for her new job. She works for UC now. She actually saved Mar Hamlin. I don't know if you guys know this. She works for University of Cincinnati. She saved him.
She put a fucking thing of Dr. Pepper under his nose. It came too. What was that? Is that pepper?
This is a great episode, by the way. I'm just titling it.
I just want to thank all the doctors at the UC hospital that brought me back to life on the field, specifically Dr. Pepper.
I guarantee you, DeMar Hamlin fucks with Dr. Pepper.
for sure.
Like 1000%.
I
he
mean,
fucks with
listen,
Dr. Pepper.
you know, they say Captain and Coke. Fucking, how about Sailor and fucking Dr. Pepper and Sailor Jerry?
I never did that.
Dr. Jerry, man.
And
That's
it's
like
kind of,
that's like a Captain and Coke on fucking steroids. It's the best.
it's depressing since I'm sober and I'll never be able to do that. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're gonna
you
make
could
me,
if you wanted to, but
I could. I don't think the pseudo doctor in my house would like that.
when she's like, I don't think you should do this, be like, well, you're not a fucking doctor, so.
You know what my favorite about the doctor? When they give somebody a PhD, I've never understood that. You know, like somebody's speaking at a college, like, oh, we're just gonna.
Oh, you're saying like I know what you're saying.
An honorary doctorate.
An honorary doctorate.
And like my favorite was like Temple gave Bill Cosby an honorary doctorate and they revoked it. I'm like, well, like,
and then he was going around calling himself Dr. Bill Cosby, right?
Was he?
Yeah.
I wonder what were his 23 ingredients.
Yeah. I don't know, but rupees were like 15 of them. Little Spanish fly.
Put the peppers in with the
Spanish fly in with the Mr. Pimp and the Jello.
Has there been a bigger con in like the history of the world? Not the history of the world, but like that. Like his con is up there.
His con being,
dude, he used to sell
Mr.
like
nice guy.
Yeah, but not. He used to sell those books on like how to raise a family and be like a good Christian. I'm just saying, like, and then to have like the #1 sitcom, like
always the way it is, and isn't it? Isn't it always the way it is? Like whoever is the fucking.
And that's why Harrison Butker's gay.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Me too. It's always the guy who like tried to pass the law that like you should be arrested if you're gay. That like tries to jack a guy off in an airplane bathroom. He's like, just give me that fucking dick. And he's like, yo, we're in Terminal B.
Well,
that's fucking O'Hare. And he's like, I'll suck your fucking dick right fucking now.
Dude, they used to, and you know how it is in the Middle East. Like homosexuality is you're literally killed.
Yeah.
Dude, my brother said they used to have in Iraq. What was it called that the American soldiers joked because they were working with the Iraqi soldiers? Man Love Monday or Man Love Wednesday. Like I guess
Opie and Anthony bit.
Was it?
No. Yeah, like whip them out Wednesday and shit.
But like there was so much prevalent homosexuality, and like one of the sayings in Arabic was men are for pleasure, women are for babies. And it's like, wait, and you're the people stoning somebody if they're like openly gay?
Or what about fucking bro? How about the Catholic Church? They're like, you will go to hell. Unless you want to suck my dick right now.
Yeah, but I think that's a little different because pedophiles aren't. That's like that. They're not necessarily gay. Like that's a bad rap to gay people. Does that make sense? A lot of guys are just pedophiles,
right?
Which doesn't make any better. But you know what I'm saying? You're not. There is a distinction.
Well, yes.
You see my point?
But I think the trend likely started in because that was the thing was always like. Remember back in the day, it was like you would be like, oh, he's going into the priesthood. It would be like, oh, your son was like gay or whatever. So you just like forced him. And it's like, well, you can't be gay. So how about this like life of celibacy where you're like a man of the cloth? And then it's like, well, now they just like put you in a room full of boys. You're like, well, fucking.
Well, I think both exist. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There are definitely obviously gay priests, but then there's like, doesn't mean that you're necessarily a pedophile.
But there are pedophiles who like are into little girls.
100%. Yes.
Like Jared from Subway.
Ooh, forgot about him. Which I'm also reminded because I saw a Subway commercial during that game. I don't know if you saw it. It was a weird, I don't know what they were selling.
No, I did not.
Brando, I don't know what else you want to talk about. This has been fun. It's 11 o'clock my time.
Great. Well, Andy, what I want to talk about before we get out of here, a few different little plugs. I mentioned before, if you're listening to this, I'll be appearing on the Adam Carolla podcast today. So give that a listen. I have some shows coming up, bunch of shows in and around Southern California over the next few weeks in June. July is pretty hefty. July 5th, Friday, July 5th, my birthday. I'll be opening for Lachlan Patterson at what I guess is my local club, Levity Live Oxnard here in Ventura County. July 11th, Thursday, July 11th, Eugene, Oregon, Olson Run Comedy Club. I'll be headlining there, one-nighter in Eugene. Then the following week, Friday, July 19th, I'll be at Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie, New York. So if you're in the Hudson Valley area, or if you're a part of that 315 crew up north, if anybody up in upstate New York wants to, you don't have to come all the way downstate this time. Come to Poughkeepsie, Laugh It Up, Friday, July 19th. And then the following weekend, almost all the way downstate. One town up from New York City. Yonkers, New York, July 26th, 27th, and 28th. And then early August, I'll be at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club in Las Vegas. So come check out one of those shows if you're in New York or Oregon or Southern California.
Word. All right, guys. You can follow Joe at Fix Your Life on Twitter, Joe Crano on other social. I'm at Andy Ruther on everything. I'm dropping a new Andy Ruther show podcast about Dr. Pepper. It's gonna be 2 hours. Yeah. No,
that was this.
That's exactly what we did. So yeah, I'm trying to give somebody $100 on the Andy Ruther show.
I heard that. How are you going to decide that? You can put it in like a random name generator or something.
Yeah.
So if I get in the mix, am I like, is it one of those?
But I need to get up to 100 reviews.
By when?
I said the 10th, which isn't going to happen, so I'm going to extend it through the end of the month.
How many reviews do you have now?
Last time I looked, it was like 54, 55 total.
Okay. So get your reviews in. Is there any fine print? Like you cannot be associated with the Andy Ruther podcast or any podcast that Andy Ruther hosts. Or if you put my name in a random generator and it comes up, do I win? I mean, I'll write a review anyway, because I do like Karen's of Anderson. I think that's a good bit. I'm going to mention that. I'm going to be like this podcast is the tater tots of podcasts. It's not for me, but I know people like it.
You got to get on that tot train, man.
You're acting like I never tried tots. I've tried the tots. I've had the tots.
You know who will crush some tots with me?
Goldberg. Nick D'Alessandro.
Nick D'Alessandro. Yeah. I guarantee it.
That dude's just cheese sticks and tots.
And Don.
They say like celery is like 95% water. Nick D'Alessandro is 95% tots and cheese sticks. The other 5% is just human.
It's just like my daughter, man. That's how he rolls. All right, let's get out of here. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
For doing it tonight, Andy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. We'll be back on Thursday. And one last thing, go back if you haven't. Check out that episode that we did last episode. Check out that episode we did last episode with Guy Lawson. Really good episode.
Yeah, well.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Thursday. And as always, stay